COVID-19. Pfizer says its vaccine is effective for younger kids. The shot is already approved for anyone 12 and older, but with kids back in school and the Delta variant causing pediatric cases to rise, many families are awaiting the approval of vaccinations for children.
Pfizer tested a lower dose with the 5 to 11-year-olds, and a third of the amount in a typical shot is what they gave. And the drug maker says the children developed antibodies at the same level as teens and young adults. Pfizer hopes to seek emergency approval for younger children soon. We're tracking more breaking news from overnight. A teenager from Cass County is among 12 people hurt when a semi crashed into a line of cars in southern Minnesota. That crash happened around 8 last night on I-35 near Northfield.
State troopers say 6 cars were stopped on the interstate for construction when they were rear-ended by a semi. Police say everyone was in seatbelts and no one's injuries are life-threatening. Victims, however, range in age from 2 to 51. 15-year-old McKenna Belling of Erie, North Dakota was in one of the cars that was hit. A Minnesota grand jury has indicted a Twin Cities man on first-degree murder charges in the gruesome death of his girlfriend in Shakopee. Alexis Sabarit is accused of killing his longtime girlfriend, America Thayer.
Sabarit is accused of beheading Thayer in a vehicle in front of onlookers near downtown Shakopee on July 28th. As the two were on their way to his court appearance on charges that he set fire to the couple's apartment. A North Dakota judge has granted a new trial for a Mandan Lyft driver convicted in 2019 of raping a woman after driving her home. The judge says Corey Wickham's constitutional rights were violated when his defense attorney failed to object to police testimony that allegedly impacted the jury's decision.
Wickham's attorney argued that a Bismarck police detective's testimony about Wickham's request for an attorney was an improper comment that should have been drawing an objection from defense counsel. A new trial is scheduled for January. Wickham is being held in the Burleigh County Jail on a $500,000 cash bond.
It is now 11 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's get a check of your forecast so you know whether you need that umbrella when you walk out the door today, Summer.
Yeah, Jordan, many have already seen some rainfall this morning. We're in a bit of a lull right now, but more rain on the way. Here's a live look at our Luther Family Ford and Skycam network in Fargo, where the parking lot is fairly dry, but about an hour ago there were still some puddles in the parking lot from overnight rainfall. But you can see we have some cloud cover moving in, as just off to the west is where we're seeing additional rainfall moving in from the south. So zooming in on a closer look here towards the Fargo area, just near Castleton and Valley City. In between the two is where we're seeing some moderate to potentially heavier rainfall at this hour. Otherwise, we're just seeing some spotty showers. Off to the south and east near Sauk Center, Alexandria, is where we're seeing some thunderstorm activity in even south from there near Big Stone. This is where it's starting to lift a bit to the north. So areas like Wheaton, Elbow Lake, and potentially as far north as Fergus Falls could see some thunderstorms here within the next hour or two. The main area to watch for the next few hours is still down in South Dakota, but it's going to be lifting to the north and east, overspreading across the valley this afternoon. Here's a few rainfall reports from so far this morning. 1.13 inches in Mavie, an inch in Ada. Humboldt picking up just over a half an inch of rainfall. Only 8 100ths at NDSU, and 3 miles south of Grand Forks, 7 100ths. But don't worry, we do have more rain in the forecast. Here's your hourly planner today in Fargo. High temperature only near 60 degrees. We're in the upper 50s now, so temperatures are going to hold fairly steady throughout our day, as is the wind out of the north-northwest, gusting into the 20s to near 30 miles per hour all day long. Now, looking through your hour-by-hour forecast, the area of storms off to the east is going to stay for a couple more hours before finally pushing out. And then here comes our next round of rain from South Dakota, lifting up and overspreading through the valley by the lunchtime hour. Here we are mid-afternoon, 2:30, and we're still seeing some rain, with the heaviest off in Minnesota, starting to dry up across central and eastern North Dakota, first near Rolla, Devil's Lakes, even a few peaks of sunshine before the day ends. And here we are by drive time tonight, still seeing some rain across the Central Valley and Minnesota. So the umbrella still needed by that time if you're in those areas before all of us clear out later tonight. Additional rainfall for today looks like this, with many areas potentially receiving between a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, with the most rainfall off to our east, where we're seeing those heavier thunderstorms. Now for your 7-day planner, tomorrow we're going to see a little bit more sunshine, but still a cool day. with temperatures in the 60s, closer to seasonal for the first day of fall, which is going to fall on Wednesday. Thursday, 72 degrees and looking gorgeous as we head into the weekend. Today is the only day with rain in the upcoming forecast.
Okay, well, we need the rain today, but it'll be nice to see some more sunshine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Summer.
New this morning, one man is dead following an ATV crash in west central Minnesota. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department says it happened yesterday near Miltona.
48-year-old Todd Murnack was on an approach on his ATV when it rolled and he was thrown from it. He died at the scene.
A body believed to be that of 22-year-old Gabby Petito has now been found in a Wyoming national forest. She hadn't been heard from since late August while on a cross-country trip with her fiancé, Brian Landry. Now Petito was last seen at Grand Teton National Park.
Agents started ground surveys at that national park, focusing on an undeveloped camping area in the forest. And then yesterday, the FBI confirmed the discovery of human remains in that area. Her fiancé has been named a person of interest in her disappearance, but his parents say they now haven't seen him since last Tuesday. Authorities are searching a vast wildlife area near Florida's Gulf Coast for Brian Landry. Gabby's family is out with a statement that says Brian is not missing, he's hiding. People in North Point, Florida are lighting candles and sending prayers for Gabby. She lived there with her fiancé and his family.
People say they're heartbroken at the news that her body has been found. One woman who worked with Gabby at a local grocery store says that she was a happy person, always talking to everybody. An 18-year-old War Road man is being treated for critical injuries at a Fargo hospital after a car crash in the Northern Valley.
The State Patrol says Joshua Eider was hurt yesterday afternoon when his car collided with a pickup on Highway 59 in Thief River Falls. The pickup driver wasn't hurt, but his passenger was taken to Sanford in Thief River for treatment. Fire restrictions are being lifted for the entire Superior National Forest in northern Minnesota, now that the Greenwood Lake fire is 80% contained. A DNR spokesman says while the region remains historically dry, they don't expect the fire to spread.
It's not showing any flames, although some of its perimeter straddles inaccessible wetlands, and full containment, it won't come until the snow falls this winter. This past week, crews continued to find and dig out hotspots along the fire's edge and remove any fallen or standing dead trees, including in that hard-hit McDougal Lakes area. Haitians who set up a makeshift camp under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas, they're on their way back to their home country now. The Department of Homeland Security says the migrants were medically screened before boarding 3 flights from the Texas border town back to Haiti. Many were deported under CDC Title 42. That allows for immediate deportation of migrants to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Border Patrol officials say they have removed 3,400 people in the past 2 days, and they expect that number to increase in the days ahead. Most of the migrants started coming up from the border last week. Their numbers swelled to around 14,000, stretching local resources beyond their breaking point. Tensions remain high in Kabul, Afghanistan, and one North Dakota family is desperately trying to find a way to get their loved ones to the U.S. before the Taliban possibly kills them. Julie Ramos Lagos is the executive director of the Bismarck Global Neighbors, and an organization that helps connect refugees and evacuees.
And this family, who asked to stay anonymous, fearing the Taliban would kill their family in Kabul, says they have asked the government to help, but they are waiting for the next steps.
They've been waiting patiently, trying to reach out to non-government entities as well to see if there's anyone that would kind of take their case, help them, work with their families. It becomes more and more urgent for them every day.
The family says although they have fears, they still hope for peace in their home country.
Dozens of North Dakota National Guard members are resuming support for the state's coronavirus pandemic response. The Guard says about 50 of its members are still assisting the state health department in contact tracing, and about 15 others are helping the state lab in Bismarck.
The group is expected to remain on active duty until the end of the year. The Guard has worked more than 121,400 personnel days of COVID-19 support duty. That's the largest and the longest state mobilization in history. Pay attention when you're cooking. That's the word from fire officials after a kitchen fire damaged a Grand Forks apartment. Firefighters blame unattended cooking for a fire in the 1400 block of 14th Street South on Saturday night.
The person living there luckily got out safely. Police officers slowed the spread of the fire using an extinguisher. Grand Forks fire officials are reminding you to never leave the kitchen when you're cooking and also to make sure your smoke detectors are working. Phase 3 continues for the North Cheyenne Street Urban Reconstruction Project. And the city of West Fargo is giving us an update on the project.
And giving us an update right now this morning, live from the scene on what you can expect if you're hitting up that road, is the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. The road looks good. I mean, this is Cheyenne Street, and it looks better than it was in June when they were lifting it up and they were, smashing through to make it look better. I mean, you can look down here and also tell they're still working on it, but that's going to be done hopefully by the end of next month. Now, they're continuing to install signs and work on the concrete flat work, and just so many changes that's going to be going on this road. But so far in Phase 3, the city has completed the water main installation. They began work on the storm sewer installation and prepped for fabric and gravel, and that's for paving. Now, there will continue to be road closures. Cheyenne Street from 2nd Avenue West to Main Avenue West, traffic will detour to First and Morrison for local access, and 9th Street East for through traffic between Main Avenue and 13th Avenue. Now, the project continues to be on schedule, and the city of West Fargo are letting us know that they're going to provide an update tomorrow morning. That's going to be around 11:30, and they're going to provide that online. Now, we'll have full details on valleynewslive.com, but again, as you're seeing on Cheyenne Street, it's looking a lot better. You can see the cars finally coming through. That area was blocked off for the longest time, but now people are able to drive through it.
Good news for the businesses there as well, and a lot of people just want to be able to drive through that area. Brian Sherrod reporting live for us. Thank you.
We have another road construction heads up for you today. The intersection of 13th Avenue at Cheyenne Street in West Fargo. It's going to become a four-way stop. Repairs starting tomorrow. The left turn lane will close from time to time to allow for that.
All repairs are anticipated to be complete by the end of the day. If you're driving in that area, expect congestion and delays during your morning and evening commutes. Okay, let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. 30% of people wear this at least 3 times before washing it.
The answer is gym clothes.
Yuck.
You're the smelly gym person.
Yep, you're that guy, for sure. You can play along every weekday morning. Just head to our Valley News Live Facebook page.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning, they're just about to start, but you can stay with us right here on the Valley Today. You'll find us on the Fargo CW.